And good morning, San Antonio. Welcome to the Happy Handyman Show. I'm Trudy Chook, broadcasting live from Johnny Chook's Home and Hardware. Going to be here for the next hour to talk all things hardware, how to keep all those things at your house working just right. And it's if you're listening, but you also like to watch, we're on Facebook Live right now. Just go to Johnny Chook's Home and Hardware and you will see us out there. And if you don't have a chance to watch right now, go out to our YouTube channel, which is Johnny Chook's Home and Hardware, and you will see me out there. That's really, like, if you miss it while we're doing it live, that's the best way to find it. It's so much easier to find. It is out on Facebook, but if those of you that watch Facebook all the time, you know that you can miss it very quickly if the algorithms are not working in your direction. So let me tell you where we're located. We're at 2361 Northwest Military Highway, which is about 2 miles north of Loop 410, right past the light at Lock Hill, Selma. And then if you want to call the store, if you have a question about what I'm talking about today, the number is 210-341-1573. Now, let me tell you what we got going on this next month, because I like to tell y'all about events, and then I'm going to tell you what's going on today. Next month, on the 4th and the 5th, and I cannot believe I'm saying this, it's September. I cannot believe it's going to be September in another week. We have our book fair. This is going to be our second, I think it's our second book fair on the 4th and the 5th of September. And what does that mean? That means we're going to have 4 local San Antonio authors that will be here with their own books, signing them. You get to talk with them and find out, what else is going on in their life and what is their next thing. And mostly, I'm pretty sure they're all children's books. One might be like a young adult book, but it is so exciting to get to talk with them, especially if you're a big reader, to get to talk with the people that put the pages to life, And then also, we will have probably about 48 feet of books that we bring in especially for book fair. This is how many of you, when you were at school, when you were younger, and you would have book fair, and it was so much fun. I can remember asking my mom, how many books can I get? Books, because I've always been a big reader. And this is a chance for you. And we'll not only do children's books, we will do young adult, we will do adult, and when I say adult, I mean, my age, and then cookbooks, and then just everything in between. It's just a fun time. And then we are also going to have Fragrance Weekend on the 18th and the 19th. And what that means is every fragrance in our store, and we have probably 15 to 16 ways to get fragrance, either in your home or on like personal, like body care and things like that. And we will have sales on all of them. We will have giveaways, and we are going to bring in a new candle line. Don't ask me to say the word because I always butcher it, but maybe Jill can tell you when she takes a break. But it's a really good candle line. I've always liked it, and I just felt like we did not have any more room for candles. We do. I just made some more room, so now we have more. Now, right now, we have a sale going on this weekend. It's our summer sale, and we pulled everything that was really summer apparel, summer fragrances, and then I'm looking back behind me, kids jewelry, summer jewelry, things that we felt would be a good sale item. And they're all 50 to 75% off. And I'm telling you right now, we already had ladies come in. I mean, as soon as we opened this morning, we opened at 8 o'clock, and there were 2 people waiting to get in to go for this sale. So don't wait till 3 o'clock this afternoon, because there might not be a whole lot left. We even have clothing on sale. So, and if it was already on sale, so like we have our children's clothing, because it had just kind of dwindled down to very little. And I said, let's put it on sale and get it out of here. And that way we can bring you back in. And if it was already on sale, it's 75% off now. So it's just a good time to come in. And we still have a pretty good selection of goosies that you could buy for gift. And it's 75% off. You can't go wrong with that. And also our seeds. I mean, after talking with David and Karen, I don't know how many of y'all tune in before the show. You would be smart to do that. The Lawn and Garden Show, I get here at 8, a little before 8 in the morning, and I turn all my equipment on beforehand, and I start listening, because they both are so well versed in lawn and garden, and you just can't help but learn something. So always tune in before this show and listen to them, even if you're not a huge gardener. He talks about watering and the way to keep your grass growing and keep bugs out of the way, so don't miss out. But the reason I was saying this is because all of our seeds, we're getting ready to bring in fall seeds. But the seeds, even though you could save them, it doesn't mean they're going to go bad. And they're 40% off right now, and we still have a pretty good selection of seeds. So anyway, after telling you all of that, I told you where we're located. I gave you the phone number, and today we're going to be open till 6:30, and tomorrow, for your convenience, 11 to 5. All right, so I teased in Karen and David's show that we were going to talk about, when do you dump the toilet, okay? When do you say, this toilet, it just doesn't flush good anymore, I'm getting a new toilet? Well, what we're going to talk about right now is how to refurbish that toilet, because replacing your toilet is expensive. Even a very simple, elongated comfort height can be $200 to $300, okay? And then to have it installed and have the other one taken away, you're probably looking at least $800, okay? And if you've got 2 of them at the house, that's a big chunk of money. So how do you refurbish a toilet? Because let me tell you, if you've got a toilet that's 20 to 30 years old, it will flush better than any brand new toilet. It just, they were made better. They were made with bigger throws in them so that more water can go down. And if you just have a toilet, if you tell me, oh, but it's so stained, we're going to take care of that. It just doesn't flush like it used to. We're going to take care of that. It makes noises in the middle of the night, Trudy. Scares me to death. We're going to take care of that. And Trudy, it whistles. We can take care of that too. So what is the number one problem that people talk about? It's that it doesn't flush well, okay? It just doesn't flush like it used to. Well, there's the main reason for that is our water system. Our water here is so hard that things will lime up so quickly. So you have to be able to clean your toilet from the inside out. You have to get something that will break up hard water, and that is going to be Delete Germ. And Delete Germ is, number one, a toilet bowl cleaner, and it breaks down lime and hard water, and that's what keeps your toilet from not being able to push a lot of water down into the bowl and out, so that when you hit the flush thing, it just kind of, if it doesn't give you a lot of water, it's because all those little holes underneath the rim are limed up. Look at them sometime. Look and turn underneath there, and you will see Some of them have got mildew on them, and it's just mildew, it's not mold, and they're limed up. And that's because the water will just sit in the rim. So how do you take care of that? When you lift the lid on the tank of the toilet, there will be this pipe that comes up, and it's open at the top. That's where your excess water goes through. And what you're going to do is you're going to put some Delete Germ down that hole. And when you first get Delete Germ, it comes in a quart-sized bottle, and it's got a great little flip top lid, and you just put it in that little hole and you give the Delete Germ a squeeze. A lot of people say, well, is it a half a cup? Is it 3/4 a cup? Just give the bottle a squeeze, and that will be enough, and it'll go down and under the rim. Now, if you have never done this before and you have a lot of hard water there and all those little things are clogged up, let me tell you a little trick. Turn off the water and flush your toilet. And then under the rim, dry it all off. And then take some duct tape, and you're gonna seal up all those holes. Just put a thing of duct tape all underneath there and cover it up. Then put your Delete Germ in the overflow. Don't flush, don't do anything. It will go down and under the rim. And since you have the duct tape sitting there, it's just going to sit in that. And that's okay. And then it will start loosening up all that hard water in the tray, in the rim, and in those holes. The next morning, get up, pull your duct tape off, and you'll see all that white hard water coming out, and flush the toilet. Now, if you have dark stains in the tank, say you have a place at the ranch or a place where you have well water, usually, I don't know why, but you get a lot of staining from that, from all the minerals. There is a product that is called Instant Power Tank Cleaner. And I want to show it to y'all. Instant Power Tank Cleaner. All right. And it's good to clean the tank, because what happens is the stains in the tank, they will migrate down into the bowl, okay? And so clean the inside of that tank and make it look like it was brand new. Now, if you have stains in the bowl, okay, I know I told you to put it in the overflow, then take the Delete Germ and put it in the bowl. Now what happens is sometimes the hard water stains will be above the water line. That's just the way it works. So, and if you haven't ever like really cleaned your toilet with something that dissolves hard water, a lot of people tell me Delete Germ doesn't work. It didn't take the stain out. And what they'll use is they'll use something that is real heavily bleached base, and it will bleach out that hard water, okay? But it really doesn't get rid of the hard water. So use a product, if it's above the water line, called a Flexi Scour. And what that is a pumice infused screening material that is flexible. Those of you that are watching on Facebook, you can see I can bend it, okay? Because I have never been a super big fan of just pumice stones. They're all square, and there's nothing in my toilet that's square. So the Flexi Scours, these are really good. I only recommend them for toilets. They do not do any damage, except if you don't wear gloves when you're using these things, it'll ruin your manicure. Okay, so put some gloves on and clean the hard water stain off. Okay, so now we've taken care of all the stains on the inside of the bowl. We've loosened up all the hard water that's coming down from the rim. So now if you flush, you get more water power in the bowl, so that when you flush, everything goes out of the bowl. Because if you don't, that's why you have to flush twice, right? So now, if you have a problem, if it whistles or if it is, get yourself, since we're gonna give the toilet a refurbished look, get yourself a new fill valve. I always recommend the Fluid Master 400, okay? It has been around for a long time, and it's really the best, and it's super easy to install. In fact, once you install one, you never even have to turn the water off to install the next one. They're adjustable, and why yours whistles is, okay, hard water again, builds up on this, and it'll get stuck, and it won't move up and down, turn the water on and off, and it'll make a whistling noise, okay? So get yourself a Fluid Master 400. Now, what about your flapper? Sometimes people will say, in the middle of the night, Trudy, the toilet flushes, and I know there's no one in there because I'm the only one in the house. So what do? Okay, right now, there is one that is made by Fluid Master, okay? And whether you have a 2-inch flapper or a 3-inch flapper, this one will work. And they're adjustable, and you can adjust it for more water or less water. And then when you get a new flapper, because what happens is the flapper will build up hard water, and so does the seal that the flapper drops into. And when you turn off the water and flush the toilet, okay, when we replace all the insides, you can feel hard water around that seal where the flapper lies. And all it takes is just a little grain that does not allow the flapper to sit perfectly flat. And so water will barely go out of that. And after a while, and the water in the tank goes down, it just flushes automatically, okay? It's gravity, and it will automatically flush, and that's why you hear that in the middle of the night. So just get a new flapper, and then clean that seal where the flapper goes on, okay? And the easiest way to clean it is just take some sandpaper. If you've got a tennis ball, that works easy. And you wrap that sandpaper around the tennis ball, and then you just go all around that seal and clean off any hard water. And that's all it takes, folks. Now, if you're going to do that, go to the nth degree, okay, and replace your water supply. Remember how we talked about that water supplies will start to leak, and then all of a sudden they just break and you've got water everywhere? And I told you about that story that happened to me. I had sold a house, in Oak Meadow, and like 2 weeks before we were supposed to close, the whole upstairs on one side got flooded, and it was because I had a leak in the supply valve, and they will leak at this plastic part up here. And why they don't put metal on both ends, I do not know, except it's easy to install this. And so replace this when you're doing all the rest of the toilet, so that you have a brand new toilet from the inside out. Now, if you have a crack in the toilet, and that's why you're thinking about replacing the toilet, there is an easy way to fix that. Just flush the toilet, turn off the water supply, flush the toilet, dry out the inside. They make a plumber's goop, okay? And I know that sounds silly, goop, but it is a great seal, and put it on the inside of the toilet and then put it on the outside of the toilet. I'm not going to tell you you won't be able to see it. You'll be able to see it, but you will be able to save your toilet from leaking anymore, okay? All right, and that's all there is to it. I mean, it's about, let's see, $40 to refurbish your toilet, and over maybe $600 to $800 to replace it. It's a no-brainer, okay? So if you've got an older toilet, hang on to it and just refurbish it. All right, so now since we're in the bathroom, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about grout lines. How many of you in your shower, okay, have white grout lines and you are always trying to keep them clean and white, and you're scrubbing and stuff like that, and you just hate it? So what happens is you don't, and you get worse mildew stains. There is a product made by Zepp. I really like Zepp products. They're all like a commercial grade and they're all inexpensive. But Zepp makes one called Mold and Mildew Stain Remover. This is great if you have tile, ceramic tile, okay, and you have ceramic tile on the floor. You can use the Zepp Mold and Mildew Stain Remover for white grout. And all you have to do is spray the grout liberally and let it air dry, and then go back in and rinse off the walls and the floor. And it will give you, it will bleach it out white just fine. It doesn't do any damage, okay? And then I'm going to tell you a trick that I did. We used to be able to get a product called Grout Aid, and I can't get it anymore. They've just gotten real big. But if you want Grout Aid, which is Rejuvenate does something like this, and I keep this in stock. They're grout pins, and Rejuvenate only does one color, white. And when I was selling the house in Oak Meadow, my contractor wanted to replace the shower, and he said, you will recoup this money hands down. And I said, well, give me a bid on it. He gave me the bid, and I said, nah, I'm not doing that. And so I said, this is what I want you to do. I want you to clean all the tile with Delete Germ. That will take all the soap scum off. It will take the tile back to like what it looked like, which is pristine, because they're glazed. And as long as you use Delete Germ the right way, it does an excellent job. And if you're not sure how to use Delete Germ, we've got people here that know how, and they can tell you how. And then we also have a little sheet there that says how to use it. All right, but then what I told him to do after you do that and you clean the grout, I want you to go and I want you to go through all the grout lines with Grout Aid. Well, I don't have Grout Aid, but you could use the Rejuvenate if you've got white grout, and just go over every grout line. And I know that sounds like a lot, but it went real quick. And then when you go over it, then you just wipe it off the tile, because you're going to get a little on the tile. Just wipe it off the tile. And then your grout will look like the day they grouted it. It covers up any kind of stain, whether it's like an old mold or mildew stain, or maybe you've lost some grout in a little place. It'll help cover it up. These are great to make your tile look like brand new. But that's only if you have white grout. And that's why I'm telling you, go out, you can get it, Grout Aid, they sell on their own website. They also, I'm sure, sell on Amazon. But they have 50 colors. And so you could find a color that would be what you need. So if you have colored grout, how to clean that is also a Zepp product, and it's called Grout Cleaner and Brightener, and it's safe for colored grout. Because if you do have like a gray grout or a beige grout, or you've done a grout that matches the tile, the last thing you want to use is something that's so bleach based that it just bleaches out the color of that beautiful grout that goes with your tile. So you want to use the right one. And for colored grout, that's going to be Grout Cleaner and Brightener. Gosh, is it already time? I guess it is. All right, we're going to take a real quick break right now. Oh, yay, Jill's here. But during the break, we go, you can watch us on Facebook, and Jill's going to show you all the things that we have on sale. All right, we're going to take a little break. You've been listening to the Happy Handyman Show only on WLAI. We'll be right back.
Oh, I'm short today. Good morning, everyone. It's okay. Hey, good morning. If you guys get our emails, which you totally should, or if you follow us on Facebook, you'll already know we just started this morning our end of summer sale, and that's everything I'm going to show you. This is part of what is left from the Spartina Beach collection. There is more. It is all now 50 off. Look at these gorgeous, gorgeous earrings that are 24 karat gold plated. They were normally 58, and now you can get them at half off. We have some beautiful necklaces, some cute little crossbodies that are available, and a couple of wallets, I believe. This really pretty beach cover up, and so much more. That is all the Spartina stuff that is 50 off, and it's all down the center section here. We have loaded that up for you guys. Another thing that's on it, if you have some little girls in your life, these are so cute, little cutie kits. It is a charm bracelet with 7 different charms. There's birthday, there's ballerinas, there's a special trip, even back to school. Perfect timing for that. You could either give it to them just all completed to be a pretty piece, or give them the bracelet and then 1 new charm a day or every so often to add to the collection. And these were $15.99, so now they are only $8. They are for ages 4 and up. So you could get a couple and they could mix them up however they want. If you're expecting a new baby in the family, the little big sister can have her own bracelet to celebrate that. More jewelry. Yes, there is actually more jewelry. I didn't bring it over, but there is a ton more jewelry here that is fashion jewelry and from Spartina. We have a cool and interesting charm bracelet and necklace line that is also half off. Lamborghini electric diffuser. We brought these in not too long ago, but it's just something we're not going to go forward with. We did try one out, and it puts out a nice fragrance while being very discreet. It's a very small item. It's USB rechargeable, comes in 3 different colors. They already come with a scent disc that you just plop inside there, turn it on, and it blows out a really pretty fragrance. They were $50, so now they're only $25. You can have a great little gift. You can get one for yourself, for your office. There are, I want to say, about 4 or 5 different fragrance refills available. These were $15, so now, I mean, you're looking at 30, slightly over 30 if you got this and a refill. Great little gift for anyone you know, or treat yourself. Oh, more jewelry. Tap to Pray bracelets. These are all half off. They were $16.99, $8 now. And if you're not familiar with them, they come in all different sizes and patterns. They're reversible, but the most special part about them, you don't need any kind of app. You just have your phone open, you touch it right there, oh, and see that little thing pops up. And every morning or every day when you tap it, it's a new Bible verse, a new devotional that you can then read. You can scroll down, you can share it. So this is a really sweet, sweet gift for yourself or for someone you know and love, and now only $8 instead of $16. We have put a lot of stuff over there that is kitchen related, kitchen gadgets, things we're not gonna go forward with, but we still wanna give you a great deal. So PPD mugs and napkins, it's one of our favorite lines. They have the design that matches right inside there, and it's fully covered. These were $18.99, now they're only $9, and they come in a little matching box, which, I mean, you could use that box later to store any little trinkets or any notepads or anything you want to put in there. And a lot of them still have their matching napkins, which makes a great little gift, a little hostess thing, or for teachers maybe. The napkins were $6.99, and again, half off. We put everything that's down in that center, and then also some stuff in the fashion, the women's fashion, baby apparel. It's all 50 off. That's some more of the notebooks for you, or mugs. Now, there were some things that were already on sale previously. Those went to 75% off. So one of them, Max Benjamin, your little car fragrances, these little sachets you can throw anywhere. These were only $11.99, and now they are 75% off. So if you love fragrance, you just want to throw a little something together for a thank you gift for someone, come grab you some Max Benjamin while it lasts. You can see there's people shopping already. Ooh, almost lost our camera. You guys are falling over this excitement. Okay, I'm going to show you another thing here. Goosey's. The entire line of Goosey's baby wear is now 75% off. Super soft, super adorable. If you have any babies to shop for, or you think you might have one soon, come and pick up little matching bib sets, little matching blankets. And most of the outfits were $42. They are now 75% off. And I was gonna show you more, but I'm out of time. So you're gonna have to just come in and see for yourself. Bye.
And welcome back to the Happy Handyman Show, only on WOAI. I'm Trudy Chook, broadcasting live from Johnny Chook's Home and Hardware. We're located at 2361 Northwest Military Highway. Going to be here till 6:30 today. Answer any of your do-it-yourself handyman questions. If you want to call the store about anything we've been talking about, 210-341-1573. And we're back at the half hour, and of course it's time for Kale, and he's going to give us, this is going to be more than just trivia today, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. We have another celestial event coming up in the skies over South Texas. Actually, all of North America. We have a lunar eclipse coming on Thursday.
Wow.
It's going to start. It's going to start around 8:30 or so. That's when it barely starts. But the partial eclipse will be about 9:30.
Really?
So that's when you'll actually start seeing it.
See, I can still stay up till 9:30.
Oh yeah, it's not too terribly late.
No.
It's going to peak about 11:13. That's when it'll be about 96% occluded, and you're going to see a very red coppery color around the moon.
Okay.
And basically that's because the sunlight is filtering through all the atmosphere of Earth. And so in effect, we're seeing all the sunsets and sunrises all over the world at once. On
Wow.
the moon. So that's basically what that is.
That is so cool.
You know, and it's kind of fascinating. A lunar eclipse is considerably more rare than a solar eclipse. The moon orbits about 5 degrees above and below Earth's orbit around the sun. So the geometry has to be just right. But as long as you're on that side of the planet, you can see it. So people here in North America, Europe, and Africa will all see this.
What was the last, do you know when we had one?
We had one in February.
We did?
It was a partial lunar eclipse. There's going to be another total one. It's going to be, I believe it's New Year's Eve of 2027 or 28.
Really?
Yeah, it's going to be on New Year's Eve though.
Wow.
So we're going to have another one.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, and it's not too terribly late. I mean, if the kiddos get a nap early in the afternoon, they can stay up and watch totality.
Yes.
And unlike a solar eclipse, you don't have to worry about going blind and looking at the sun or anything. It's safe to watch. Just
You can
naked
just
eye.
put the lawn chair in the yard and just watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that sounds great. Okay, thanks
Okay.
for telling
Sure,
us.
thank you.
All right, you take care. Have a good day. He's here in our lawn and garden area, and but he is so much more than lawn and garden. Let me tell you, we found that out one time when we were at a Christmas party, and he started telling us everything about trivia about San Antonio. And then I said, you know what? You got to be on the air and share this stuff. So, and he does, and he is. And so, but let me ask you a question. How many of you have, maybe a car's not even that old, maybe it's just 3 or 4 years old, and already your headlights have gone hazy on you? And it's frustrating, and you take it back to the dealer and they'll tell you what it's going to cost to replace them or to clean them, or you can do it yourself, and you think, I just don't want to do that. But I hate the way my headlights look. And the bad part about it, when they're hazy like that, at nighttime, it's very hard to see out of them. Well, let me show you a real simple solution. It's called Trudy's Headlight Magician. Yes, it has my name on it. This is my product, and it works every time. And all you have to do is wipe it across your headlight. There's no sanding, there's no adding anything later. It's just a maintenance product to clean your headlight. A lot of people think that hazing that they see is on the inside of the headlight. It's not. It's damage on the headlight from UV and grime and road stuff. And all you gotta do is clean it off. And when you clean it off, your headlights are so much cleaner, and you can see out of them at night again. It comes in a little 2-ounce bottle, and this 2-ounce bottle has a little space at the top of it, and you shake it to agitate it to make it work. And then you just use a 100% cotton rag, wipe it across your headlight, and your headlight's clean. And it's a maintenance kind of product, so every couple of months you just clean them again, and that's it. The bottle to clean about 18 headlights, when you come into the store, is a little over $20, which is a whole lot less, and time-wise and money than replacing. So if your headlights are hazy, come on in. I'll get you hooked up with Headlight Magician. All right, now let's go and talk about something that a lot of people ask me about all the time, and that is odors in the house and how to get rid of odors in the house. The easiest way to get rid of them is not by a candle, not by a room diffuser, not anything like that. You have to completely neutralize an odor. And I'm not talking about maybe just a little odor that came through the house and that's it. Yeah, candle will work just fine for that. And I've got, like I told y'all, about 16 ways to add fragrance to a house. But what if it is a continuing odor? Maybe you've tried to potty train a pet and they just don't get it. Or it's an older pet and they're having problems now. How do you take care of that? You have to use an odor neutralizer. So let's talk about pets first. Okay, so you have a pet that constantly goes in the same spot over and over again. And no matter what you do, you go back and you clean it and you think, okay, that's it. You try to watch the pet, and then before you know it, they're over there and they're remarking the area. They remark the area because they can still smell it. And the reason they can smell it is when you clean, all you're doing is cleaning the top of the fibers, okay? And then your nose can't smell a thing after that. But their nose is a whole lot more sensitive. So what you need to use is a product called BioZap. BioZap is a product that we've had for probably 45 years. I could have anything that I wanted as far as an odor neutralizer in this store, and this one is some of the oldest products, but they still, to this day, are the best odor neutralizers. So BioZap is for odors like in carpet, in concrete. When I bought the house in Castle Hills Forest, the previous owner was a heavy duty smoker. And so I knew I wanted to put wood down that had carpet all in it. And so we pulled up the carpet, and in some areas he had vinyl tile. We pulled all that up. I walked into the house, and sure enough, it still smelled like smoke. It was in the concrete foundation. So what I had to do was I had to buy gallons of BioZap, and you just pour it out over the concrete, and it immediately, you can just, it smells, all of a sudden the smell is gone. It just, and that's where your smell is with these pets. They have, like if you have carpet, it's gone down below the fibers, down to the pad, into the foam padding underneath, and then finally down into the concrete. And that's where they can smell it. So you have to just really saturate that area and let it air dry. And you have to come back and do it several times. But this is the product that works, BioZap. So you can use it on your carpet. You can use it if you have a cat that's sprayed the side of some drapes maybe, or your couch. Anything that is fabric, you can spray. Like if you spill something in your car on the carpet, in the trunk, spray it down with BioZap. Now, what about if it's an odor in the air? Okay, air sponge works every time. So what is an odor in the air? Say you have a lake house and you have it closed up for the winter time, and then you come in and the air just smells musty because you've had no air conditioner on, no heater on, no nothing, and so it just smells musty. Air sponge is what you want to use. And it's so simple to use. You just pop the lid, take off the lid, leave it sitting on an area like on top of the table, on top of the counter, and just let it go up into the air. And it sounds silly, but this is what it does. When you open this up, the molecules from the air sponge go up into the air and they capture these odor molecules and bring them down to the floor where one, they either evaporate or you clean them up when you sweep them out. And it will, one time we used this in a hotel. This is when we first found air sponge in a hotel where it was a wannabe Marriott and the room smelled awful. And so we took and put these air sponges in the room, and we would go to the show, and by the time we would get back, the room smelled great. The odor was gone, and we could stay in the hotel without having to put the air conditioner on freeze. So these air sponges are great to have around the house. If you have somebody that comes over that's a smoker, and even though they don't smoke in your house, and they don't even smoke while they're there, their clothes leave an odor behind. Just pop open an air sponge, okay? You can use them in your car. You can use them, like I said, in the house. It's just a great odor neutralizer, and they're still so very inexpensive. So if odor's a problem, air sponge and Biozap works every time. And they also make one, I forgot to bring it up here, if you have kitty cats and they have a problem, use Kitty Stop. All right, so let me tell you, how many of you have ever heard of a dry cleaning sponge? A dry cleaning sponge is a different type of sponge, and it is really good to mostly a lot of people that do smoke cleanup, like if you've had a fire, they use these sponges to get off soot on doors and walls. But you can use it too, like if you have some like dust and dirt on the painted wall, you can use these sponges and you just wipe them down and it takes off all the dust and dirt. You want to keep turning it, but the best thing that it's for is if you have animals and they get on your couches or they get on your chairs and they leave a lot of hair behind, then you just run this sponge over the couch or the chairs and it picks up all the hair. It's so unique. And I just wanted to tell you about that. Okay, let me tell you about a lady that had a problem the other day. And I wanted to share this because a lot of people have problems that happens like this. She had a toilet paper holder. And what I'm doing is I'm on Facebook right now. I'm showing a toilet paper holder that instead of like where it attaches on both sides, it's just a center attachment and you can slide on your toilet paper roll right on it. And she said that all of a sudden she went upstairs to her kids' bathroom and the toilet paper holder was on the floor. And it had fallen out of the wall. And she wanted me to give her a bigger anchor to put it back in the same spot. And I said, you're not going to be able, when something like this happens, you can't put it back in the same spot. It's either got to go higher, lower, or off to the side, because where it has come out, the sheetrock is damaged. I mean, unless you want to completely replace the sheetrock there, but let me tell you something that's a whole lot simpler. Okay, she had used an anchor. They call them sheetrock anchors, and they go in. You screw them in. Don't just try to pop them in with a hammer. Screw them in, and then you screw another screw into the center of them, and it holds very well. Okay, I said, you're going to have to move your toilet paper up. And she goes, oh, Trudy, I've got this huge hole and I don't know what to do. And I said, I'm going to tell you what to do. And this is so simple and nobody will see it but you, okay? You're going to move that toilet paper holder up at least an inch. And I said, on yours, that's gonna cover up that hole. But what if you have to move it up several inches and you still have that hole? What you can do is you can fill it in with a paintable caulk, okay? So go ahead and move your toilet paper holder up and then fill that hole that has been left from that old anchor and fill it with a paintable caulk. And then you go back and you paint over. Remember, not all caulks are paintable. You need to look. Big Stretch is all paintable. Alex Plus is paintable within 30 minutes. You can use it. And we have these great little sized DAP caulks now. And we have several kinds. We have dry decks. You could do dry decks, but this Alex Plus is real easy to use, okay? And then fill it and then paint it, and you'll never see it, okay? Never see it. Now, let's talk about anchors. How many of you have cabinets and maybe several of the anchors are loose? It makes your whole cabinet kind of drag a little bit. What do? And what a lot of people will do is they want to take out the screw and put a bigger screw in it. Well, that kind of makes it worse. There is a product called Screw It Again, okay? And they're these little like pyramid shaped anchors. And this is just for wood, okay? They do make a Screw It Again for other things, but I can't get them. So if you have a different surface, come to me and ask me and I'll show you where you can get the other ones. But these are great for cabinets, for your doors. How many of you have a door that drags a little bit? Well, most of the time it's because the hinges and the screws have kind of gotten wallered out and it's just dragging a little bit, and all you need to do is put a different anchor in. All right, so you're gonna take out the screw that is the problem, and you're gonna put in the Screw It Again anchor and put it in as far as it will go. And these Screw It Again anchors, those of you that are watching on Facebook, you can tell there's several lines on them, so you can reuse it. If you only use a little piece of it at the very bottom, don't throw it away. Use the next part and the next part. And then cut it off where it is flush with the wood, and then put your existing screw back in. And it tightens up like it was brand new. It is so unique. I'll never forget when I found this at Do It Best. And the guy, I told him, I said, you got me by the arm and you wouldn't let me leave till I bought them. And then I wrote an article about it and I said that, and the guy called me. He goes, I did not do that. And I said, okay, I took a little poetic license. And then this will straighten up your cabinets. Do you have a cabinet that kind of drags and it doesn't match the other side? Well, just put a Screw It Again anchor in the side that's dragging and straighten it back up again. And you don't have to even remove the hinge. Just take out that one screw, put in the one Screw It Again anchor, break it off, put your existing screw back in, and it'll pull that cabinet right back up. Same thing with your doors. If you have a door that is dragging, then just pull it up with the Screw It Again. Okay. All right. You know, a while ago when we were talking about grout, I wanted to tell you about something, and I completely forgot it. Here it is. Okay. So once you clean your grout, then how do you seal it? And let's see, this is made by Tile Guard, and the reason I carry it is because of the really unique brush that's at the top. It's the same shape as your grout line, and so you don't waste a lot of sealer putting it on and getting more on the tile than you do on the grout. And then you just go down each line of your grout and seal it. And then that'll help it stay cleaner, longer. And then you may have to seal maybe once a year. But the one by Tile Guard, it's a very good one. And then you just don't use too caustic of a chemical then when you're cleaning. But this is good for the little grout lines. You probably could use it on the floor. But let me tell you, if you're doing that, go to Floor and Decor and go to their Stone Tech line and get a product called Bulletproof. Bulletproof, I do not carry here. We just couldn't sell enough of it to make it worthwhile. But they have it at Floor and Decor, and it is a great sealer for your grout on your floor, okay? And it's called Bulletproof. And there's a reason they call it Bulletproof. All right, now, let me show you something that I don't talk about very much. And it is such a good little product. It's called Scott's On The Go. And they are great little pop-up cloths that are more than just a paper towel. It's a little more texture. It's great to keep in the car. Like say you're going with the kids on a trip and you're always needing something to help clean up in the car. Scott's On The Go, the pop-up cloths are so nice. Go by on aisle 19, that's where I keep them, and you can use them to clean with. You can use them to wash. They're soft enough for like to wash a face with, dry your hands with, clean up paint with. This is a really nice product from Scott, okay? And I just don't talk about it very much, but it's an excellent product, okay? All right, now I'm going to tell you about another product. It's called Faucet Wax Plus. And Faucet Wax Plus is what you want to clean in the bathroom, like if you have oil rub bronze or gold. Those metals are softer than chrome and satin steel, and they need a different polish. And what you want to use is Faucet Wax Plus made by Flitz. Okay? All right. Let me tell you where we're located again. We're at 2361 Northwest Military Highway. The phone number here is 210-341-1573. Come by today. We're having a great summer sale and you do not want to miss out. That's it for this week, folks. It's time for you to roll up your sleeves and get busy on some of these projects we've been talking about. But by all means, you remember one thing. It will always be a great day to paint. See you next week.